Hello and welcome to another movie review from MBE. This Friday night we are going to be reviewing 2014's Kaththi.
And I'm going to be listening to the audio, Stephen, to make sure.
Telepathy VJ John.
Sounds
we were
right.
recommended this film after we reviewed, what was it last week we reviewed?
Sarkar.
Yeah.
Sarkar.
And we got panned for that. It's had over 700 views, so people are interested.
Yes.
And that's what we like, you know, people taking an interest in what we do. It's a great journey, John. This is our third Telepathy VJ film we've watched now, and I'm sure as we get into this review we will gather our thoughts and express our feelings on the experience of this film. Coming in at 2 hours and 46 minutes, John.
Was it that long?
Didn't feel like that.
I thought it was 2:30.
I thought it was according to IMDb, I thought it was 2:30 as well.
We may have been watching a different version, Stephen.
Could be.
I hope not.
It was Amazon Prime though, John. It was only version on Amazon Prime, so we'll get into it anyway. 7.9 out of 10, and as always, John, with a Telepathy VJ film, a lot of social issues in there, messages, and most of the time we agree with these messages as well.
A lot of positive themes being explored, Stephen.
Yeah.
It's the one thing I've seen in the three movies. It's the one piece of sort of continual similarities, if you like, with these three movies. There's a positive undercurrent in the movies. He's trying to express something to the wider populace, farmers, the treatment of women, and then obviously in Sarkar it was the whole political system and the rigging of it.
Yeah.
So I like that fact that, as I keep saying about telepathy, despite his power, despite his position in society, he's not just forgetting about the little man, the man in the ground, if you like, and moving on to his upper spheres of society. He's going and trying to help the little man, the common person. He is a man of the people, Stephen. We've seen it in that most recent election, riding to the polling station. So look, fair play to telepathy. But Stephen, as ever, we'll bring this up. We have a little graphic here, and I don't know why reviews is above it. That should not be fucking happening. So let's address that right now by bringing this up. That is not going to work. Let's address it right now by bringing it up. There you go. I've got OCD, I think,
you are
Stephen.
the perfectionist, John.
I'm borderline anal when it comes to these things, but needless to say, there is a layout of how we review movies. F through to A. F is terrible, worst movie you will ever watch in your life, The Fanatic from John Travolta. Below average is the E, minus through plus. It's just a below average movie. It's neither terrible, neither good. It's just in that sort of purgatory of watchable, but below average. Average to decent, C, minus through plus is an average movie. It's an enjoyable watch, but it's not quite good. B, minus through plus is good, very good. It's a very enjoyable watch. It's one of the best movies we've seen. And A is just reserved for those perfect movies, Stephen, the likes of Shawshank, The Godfather,
A handful.
The Apocalypse Now, movies like that, starring Marlon Brando and Al Pacino. Really good movies. Perfection. There's not many movies, Stephen, are going to get that perfect score from us. I can think of maybe a dozen max in the last 70 years that I would give an A rating to. So, Stephen, not even my favourite movie of all time, Cool Hand Luke, would get an A from me. I think that'd be a B plus because there's niggles in there. It's still my favourite movie of all time. So, you get the point. That's the rating. Yeah. Overall thoughts on this movie before we give it a rating. Stephen, I went into this hot on the heels of watching Sarkar, and to be honest with you, I was disappointed with Sarkar. Despite being warned off it, there was elements I enjoyed, the rally speech and stuff like that, and just telepathy in general. I come into this movie and I was hoping for something better, and it certainly was better than Sarkar. I still don't think it's on the same level as Master, personally. I think Master, the first telepathy movie we watched, was absolutely stupendous, and I think it's because you've got a heavyweight actor like VJ Sethupathi starring alongside him, and even your man, who I'm blanking on, who played the little bearded guy who was friends with Bhavani. Why am I blanking on his name? He had a similar name in the movie.
His surname was the character's name.
He was great as well, and he's been in other movies. He was in, I think, Vikram Vedha, funnily enough. And I enjoyed him. So there was lots of big personalities.
Definitely.
And it was obviously Lokesh Kanagaraj, and we've watched Kaththi, the other Kaththi.
Yeah.
And that was very, very good as well. So you had lots of elements coming in this movie's favour. So for me, that is still by far the best telepathy movie I've watched. I'm sure as we go down this rabbit hole with this actor, there'll be something else that is every bit as good and brilliant. For me, this didn't quite get to that, but it was much better than Sarkar for me.
Yeah.
And overall, I liked what they done with the story. I thought it framed this plight of the farmers very well. It brought it into mainstream attention, which is probably something that's needed, because as we've seen as we went down this journey, Stephen, telepathy isn't just big in India. No. He's got fan bases in France and the Philippines, all over the world. So you're bringing this plight of these downtrodden farmers to a world stage. So that's an important thing.
Yeah.
Like the voting thing, I think it was
John,
Law 49 something.
What I get out of it was the journey for the I've thingied on his name, the character's name, right? Kaththi, John. His development through the film was what I would expect the people around them to be like as well. A cheeky chap.
Yeah.
That would only last for 10 minutes with me before he would start to annoy me. And that was what was happening at the start of that film.
Mm-hmm. I'm
so glad that he developed through the film. It was a great piece of writing to do the character like that, where he's not a hate figure or anything. I wouldn't go to those extremes, but an annoyance at times.
He's a maverick.
And as you said, John, a bit immature.
Mm-hmm.
As the film, rolled on, you started to like him, and you started to get to know him better. And that's the way I would imagine the characters around him, the likes of the Samantha character as well. A bit of a...
Yeah, she was taking him with him once she realised he was this sort of
it
spearhead figure.
Yeah. So, that's great writing for me, John, and that's what I get out of this film. It was a nice journey there. A lot of social elements in it as well that are very important. Certainly the situation with the farmers in India, and you talked about it earlier on as well with Tilapia VJ, John. He likes to highlight these issues in the films, but not in a preachy way, which I always like, and I think it's very important to get that message out there, and if you can do it in the medium of film, then why not?
Yes.
And he's using his position with this platform for a good reason, and it's one of the things we're starting to see in the films we have seen so far, that seems to be his sort of choice.
Yeah.
And I don't mind it at all. I don't mind it at all, John. We've got a lot of films here. I'm trying to remember the chap that did the he's an English director that I'm blanking on, John, but he's very social conscious. He did the one with the guy who was made homeless and he was signing on and stuff like that from a couple of years ago. It was a very, very sad film. I can't remember what it's called.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called, John. I think
it.
Kevin might have reviewed it actually on the blog, but that I like that. I do like that sort of. I don't like to say kitchen sink drama. This certainly isn't a kitchen sink drama. This is an action drama.
It was down in the ground, really, in these sort of rural villages and the plight of these villagers and the small man, for a lack of a better word. So it was kind of flying the wall for that plight and stuff like that. It wasn't like a big bombastic Thanos-esque experience, so it certainly was human level in its scale. But Steve, man, I'm done speaking about this movie. We're going to get the rating. What are we giving this movie, Stephen?
John, I did say to you that I was going to give it a D+, but now I've absorbed it over the last couple of hours.
Speaking about this movie, he's actually changed my mind on the rating.
I'm giving it a C-, John.
Yeah, so I'll give you that. Boom. I'm going to change my mind here, Stephen.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a C.
Yeah, fair dues.
I've changed my mind. Actually sitting speaking about the movie, it's reminded me of how many standout moments I actually had in this movie.
Yeah.
When I was speaking about it afterwards with you, I didn't actually realise there was that many standout, but you've reminded me of a couple. The actual fighting sequence with the two women.
That's why I changed my mind as well, John.
There's a couple of moments that actually perked me up, so I've actually upped my rating. I was going to give it a C-.
I think it was because there was so many of them. I think initially, once you saw the film, it's hard to process. It takes a bit of time to absorb what you've just watched, and you can change your mind. It's all subjective at the end of the day.
Dean, I literally stopped watching the movie 45 minutes to an hour ago.
Yeah.
Maybe an hour and a half. Literally finished it, set the stuff up for the actual review, so you can change your mind on things, that's the beauty of cinema. It's all subjective, man. I may go back and watch this movie in 4, 5, 6 months and think, no, it's actually a C+ or something that may even go down. You never know. Look at Christian Harlow with The Last Jedi. It went up, it went down, it went down again. But Stephen, that's going to round up. It did go down. Believe me, he rated it at a level. He put it up a point and then he reduced it big time.
We did that as well.
Stephen, I fucking loved The Last Jedi when it first came out, and then I thought, I've had an aneurysm. I came to my senses and estimate that review's still on the website. I need to get that off, man. That's a black mark against my name. But Stephen, that's going to round up our review of Kaththi. Thank you again to RK Leo and the other chap who came in and commented. I'm going to look for his name. Prashanth. Thank you very much for coming in and sharing this experience with us. giving us stuff to speak about as well. You get one more comment there. From a point of editing of view, cameraman's view, identify one example of each of the following shots and describe how the shot affect. Well, again, man, the end sequence, that I liked that a lot. I watched it numerous times. Watched it 3-4 times. I really was taken by the fact this guy had changed so much. He was standing on the periphery, looking in on these euphoric scenes, these people winning against this sort of corporate company, multinational company, if you like, Cola company, I think it was. Don't know how they didn't get screwed or sued there. But I liked that scene, and that was a great moment Barry's of cinematography.
Cola. Yeah.
But that's going to round it up, man. That's going to round our review up. What's your thoughts on Kaththi? You can share it below. How would you rate this movie on our rating scale? Maybe you can go back and look at our rating and give us your rating of it. You can comment below and share your thoughts on our review on anything in general you feel compelled to talk about. You can also like the video if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube. Hit the follow button over on Twitch if you're watching over there. To see more content like this in the future, there will certainly be more reviews. We're just starting to creep reviews into random Wednesdays now, so why not? So stick around for that if that's something you're enjoying. If you don't enjoy it, you don't want to see us again, that's absolutely fine. You can bug it off. But until then, guys, as ever, bye-bye.